But I hope JDM absolutely punches his little head in. Yeah, I hope JDM batters him. And if he can keep it on the feet, then he will absolutely batter him. And I hope he does. Islam was chatting pony the other day.
Not Paddy for sure. Paddy beat who? Like Tony Ferguson, who else he beat? Everybody beat Chandler. Nobody checked Paddy before.
Absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest.
I'd love to hear it for him. He earned this the hard way. He cleaned out a division, maybe the hardest division in the sport. He's moved to another division. This is what it's all about. And not to mention, it's something he will never discuss. But if you don't always want to be the heir apparent to King Khabib's throne, you got to do something that Khabib didn't do. And this is his opportunity. And I know inside that's not his motivation.
Paddy Pimblett has fired back after Islam Makhachev took shots at him in a recent interview. Paddy wasn't impressed with Islam questioning his record or dismissing the idea of a potential lightweight title fight with Ilia Topuria. In response, Pimblett mocked Islam for moving up to welterweight and even backed Jack Della Maddalena to beat him. Paddy claimed JDM's boxing would control the fight on the feet and that Islam would struggle to handle that kind of pressure. He also brushed off Islam's recent boasts about his resume and issued a challenge. If Makhachev ever drops back down to 155, Paddy says he'll be waiting to deal with him personally.
Don't know how I see it playing out, but I hope JDM absolutely punches his little head in. Yeah, I hope JDM batters him. I think JDM's a much better boxer. And if he can keep it on the feet, then he will absolutely batter him. And I hope he does. Islam was chatting pony the other day, saying who have I beat when he got a title shot at lightweight off beating Bobby Green. Someone who I beat faster than you little bum. So, how about that one, Islam? Get back down to lightweight and I'll punch your head in as well.
Islam Makhachev recently laughed off the idea of Paddy Pimblett earning a title shot against Ilia Topuria, questioning what Paddy has actually done to deserve it. Makhachev argued that beating Michael Chandler doesn't prove much, since others have already done the same, and claimed Paddy hasn't faced any true top-tier competition yet. He went on to say that a matchup between Topuria and Arman Tsarukyan makes far more sense, pointing out that Tsarukyan has proven himself in every area of the game, while Paddy, in his view, wouldn't pose a serious threat to the reigning champion.
I think most people would love to see you inside the cage with Ilia Topuria. How would you get the job done against Ilia?
Absolutely smash his face in for him. I can see me beating him anywhere the fight goes, to be honest. People have put him on a pedestal now. They think he's this big, amazing thing when I'll bring him crashing back down to earth in a big way.
Paddy Pimblett didn't hold back, continuing his verbal assault on Ilia Topuria and urging him to sign the contract and face him in the cage. Paddy claimed Topuria's fame was largely thanks to him and accused the champion of being inauthentic, suggesting that his followers were bought and that his persona was copied from Conor McGregor. He also mocked Topuria's nationality, arguing that since he was born in Germany, he shouldn't claim to be Spanish or Georgian.
Now I don't know who's going to be next for Ilia.
Kind of feels like Paddy is sort of the most likely one. It's a vision.
Oh man, maybe Arman, maybe Gaethje, but not Paddy for sure.
How come?
Man, I don't know who. Paddy beat who? Like Tony Ferguson, who else he beat?
Michael Chandler.
Everybody beat Chandler. I don't know, maybe. Honestly, it's not big challenge for Topuria. If he beat Arman, it's very because Arman have good skills, striking, wrestling, grappling. He's good fighter, but Paddy, nobody checked Paddy before.
Despite the criticism, Paddy Pimblett remains determined to face Ilia Topuria and has been using his trademark trash talk to push for the fight. Paddy boldly claimed he would dismantle Topuria inside the cage, confident that he could win whether the fight stayed on the feet or went to the ground. He doubled down by saying he intends to expose Topuria as overrated and prove that he belongs among the elite in the division.
I will inflict pain on his life. He wouldn't come out of that fight looking the same. I'd hit him with that many elbows. Is this going out to Spanish media? Step up, Ilia. Stop being a chorizo, be a man. No one would know who Ilia Topuria was if it wasn't for me. He made himself famous off the back of my name. He wouldn't even be a champ now if it wasn't for him jumping on my coattails. And now he thinks he's too good to fight me. You wouldn't be where you are without me. The Bernabeu's a nice stadium, know what I mean? But to me, because it's his backyard, it's a shithole. That's like a metaphor, it's like what we say. I will come to the Bernabeu and I will punch his face in on the pitch and then I'll batter half the team if I need to. But I'm taking the belt home because he's not a Madrid fan. He's not even from Madrid. He's not even from Spain. He's from Benidorm, so he's not a Madrid fan. He just jumped on the coattails to get more fans and more followers. He's fake. He's so fake, like half of his followers, where it's been proven half his followers on Instagram. He's the fakest person ever. He's just a McGregor copycat, and I'm getting sick of him. He's a German. He's not even Spanish, he's not even Georgian. He was born in Germany.
On the other hand, analyst Chelsea reflected on Islam Makhachev's move up to welterweight, suggesting it could mark the beginning of his own legacy beyond Khabib Nurmagomedov's shadow. Chelsea explained that, whether Islam admits it or not, this step gives him the opportunity to achieve something Khabib never did. He added that years from now, Islam's grandchildren will look back on his career and recognize this as the moment he forged a legacy entirely of his own.
He's spending some time around Islam. How is he looking going into this fight now that we're so close to his welterweight debut? What does a welterweight Islam Makhachev look like in the training room?
He's the best Islam. If Islam right now fought the old Islam, we beat him in the first round. He's big, he's strong, he's healthy, he's happy, he's not suffering cutting weight, and he's very, very strong. He make everyone feel like an amateur.
Nick Barnhill called the upcoming matchup between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena an intriguing one, highlighting that Jack brings a unique combination of size and style that Islam hasn't faced often. While acknowledging that Makhachev is one of the most well-rounded fighters in the sport, Barnhill noted the bout is particularly interesting because Islam has historically faced challenges against opponents with long reach and precise striking.
I'd love to hear it from him. He earned this the hard way. He cleaned out a division, maybe the hardest division in the sport. He's moved to another division. This is what it's all about. And not to mention, it's something he will never discuss. But if you don't always want to be the heir apparent to King Khabib's throne, you got to do something that Khabib didn't do. And this is his opportunity. And I know inside that's not his motivation. He is not trying to show up Khabib. But I am just suggesting at some point his grandkids are going to look back on his career and they will now have something they can turn to that is different than Uncle Khabib.
Yeah, he said that the other day. Somebody asked him, like, well, if it doesn't matter for you, he goes, what a stupid question. He goes, Khabib's my brother. He goes, I don't want to do anything better than him. He goes, we do this together, but this is for my legacy. And right now, Islam's on the verge of legacy.
Meanwhile, Ali Abdelaziz provided an update on Islam Makhachev ahead of his fight with Jack Della Maddalena, claiming that fans are about to see the very best version of the lightweight champion yet. Abdelaziz said that if the current Makhachev were to face his past self, he'd finish the fight in the first round. According to him, Islam is now bigger, stronger, and healthier than ever, no longer struggling with weight cuts and making every opponent look like an amateur.
Technical side, this fight is intriguing because what we're seeing out of Jack Della Maddalena is a totally different style of fighting and body type than what we've seen Islam compete against at 155. Now, Jack is a very high-level striker, and we've seen him have a ton of success at 170 against other great strikers and grapplers, but nobody at Islam Makhachev's level. Now, skill for skill, most people still have Islam Makhachev as the most well-rounded fighter in the UFC. But this style versus style is very intriguing because Islam has had trouble against rangy strikers, people who can extend their punches and find his target at the end of his strikes.
Nick Barnhill noted that Jack Della Maddalena will bring plenty of offense to the fight, but how it unfolds will largely depend on Islam Makhachev's strategy. He explained that, unlike fighters who abandon their grappling once they find success on the feet, Makhachev is expected to stay true to his roots, focusing on takedowns, submissions, and ground and pound. Barnhill also added that Islam will continue to use his striking effectively, controlling distance with precise punches and kicks, similar to his approach in the second fight against Alexander Volkanovski.
Fight camp is going to dictate where this fight takes place. Islam is not like most guys where once they start finding knockouts or once they start having a lot of success with their feet, they wind up becoming knockout artists. Islam still knows his best way to win this fight is by taking Jack to the ground and cooking him and then basically finding a submission or some ground and pound. I don't see Islam going out there trying to just strike with the high-level striker, but I also don't see him selling out for a takedown. I think Islam's going to go out there and be measured the way we saw him against Volk in the second fight. He's going to stay on the outside. He's going to look to strike and throw.
Nick Barnhill suggested that Jack Della Maddalena's style could present the first real challenge Islam Makhachev has faced in the UFC, He explained that Islam's dominance at lightweight is often underappreciated, not due to any flaws of his own, but because Khabib Nurmagomedov set an almost unreachable standard before him. Barnhill also noted that Makhachev's title reign has been shaped by constant opponent changes and short-notice fights, factors that have made his run appear less impressive than it truly is.
I really think that Jack Della Maddalena has the perfect style to combat Islam and moreover give us what we've wanted out of an Islam Makhachev fight for years now, which is a competitive fight.
Yeah.
Islam, it was really unfortunate for him because his entire legacy as 155 champion is a bit tarnished, and it's not from anything he did, but because of our expectations and how good he is and the footprint that Khabib laid and then he had to follow, it felt very quickly that once he got the belt, there was a big gap in skill between him and everybody else. And then with a couple things like fallouts happening, Arman Sarukian, pulling out like a day before the event, him having to fight Renato Moicano instead, all of those types of things made Islam's career at 155 feel diminished and not as epic as it truly was. So this to me is exactly where Islam needed to go with his career if he wanted to get the respect and the legacy that he's been trying to build since he, had dreams of the UFC.
On the other hand, an MMA analyst jokingly expressed his well-known dislike for Dagestani fighters, painting a wild and humorous picture of Jack Della Maddalena landing brutal body shots on Makhachev as the arena erupts into chaos. His over-the-top storytelling was clearly tongue-in-cheek, highlighting his playful bias and serving purely as entertainment rather than serious fight analysis.
ADM, body shots against the cage, TKO's Makhachev, he shits his pants, Khabib slips over in it, crying in the corner, like that, and then Khabib gets angry, he stops crying and he gets angry. And then all of a sudden he's climbing the cage like something overcomes him to attack JDM from behind. He sucker punches JDM from behind and JDM just turns around and just starts fucking laying into him with combos, dude. And then Khabib gets slept on the ground as well. And no one steps in because he just attacked JDM, you know what I mean? It's not like a part of the thing. So it's not the referee's job to step in there. So JDM just fucking raining down elbows like he was doing to Gilbert Burns. And then Makhachev wakes back up. Umar, help! Umar, help! Umar jumps in and then the referee pushes Umar off the steps as he's trying to climb into the cage. And Umar slips over into the cage. And then everyone smells Umar in the crowd, and then everyone says, pushes him over, and then people start whacking him with chairs, splashing their drinks on him, and then the police say, what's the fucking problem here? The security guards come in, are any fucking problems going on around here? Who's causing this fucking ruckus? Everyone points, him, this goblin.
Furthermore, Usman Nurmagomedov expects that Islam Makhachev will take Jack Della Maddalena down, wear him out, and control the fight from the top. He noted that while everyone is familiar with Islam's strategy, no opponent has been able to stop it. Usman added that Islam's pursuit of a second title has motivated the entire team, as it represents a milestone their gym has yet to achieve.
What do you think Islam does against JDM?
They're gonna take him down, make him tired, hold him there, and after that, if you can finish him, if you can, by decision, you have to win. All people know what we're gonna do, but they can do nothing with that. And we're so excited for him because of two-time champion. In our gym, we don't have this guy, but Islam gonna be, inshallah.
Muhammad believes Islam Makhachev has the skills to dominate and finish Jack Della Maddalena on the ground. He explained that fighters who haven't faced Dagestani wrestling are often overwhelmed by its intensity and pace. Muhammad added that Islam's grappling operates on a completely different level and that Jack still leaves too many openings once the fight hits the mat.
I mean, I think my mindset, I think Islam can finish him on the ground for sure. And especially it's like we saw it with DDP. If you never felt one of those Dagestani style wrestlers, like you don't want it to be your first time in the cage feeling it. Yeah. And Islam and them, they have a different feel. They have a different type of grappling. So for JDM, even in our fight, he makes mistakes on the ground. He does a lot of stuff.
Moreover, Demetrius Johnson suggested that the fight between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena could go in one of two directions, either a thrilling battle or a slower, more methodical contest. He praised Jack for stepping up to the challenge and noted that the size difference between the two fighters appears minimal. Johnson highlighted that JDM is training with Craig Jones and Alexander Volkanovski specifically to counter Dagestani wrestling. He explained that if Islam dominates on the ground, the fight could slow down. But if Jack successfully stuffs the takedowns, fans might witness an all-out war.